little chilly out here today. It's about 50 degrees right now. So what is going on, everybody? It's Mahaffey back again on Mahaffey Moto with another video. And today we're going to be talking about why I chose the Harley Davidson Sportster 1200 Custom. As you all know, I had the Honda Rebel, I had the Honda Shadow VLX 600, and the Honda Rebel, the reason I got the VLX 600 was because the Honda Rebel just didn't really have enough power for me for what I was wanting to use it for, which is basically just I wanted a motorcycle where I could just ride on pretty much any road and go just about any speed and be able to keep up with traffic. So I got the VLX 600 because it was not a whole lot bigger than the Honda Rebel, but it was over twice as much power. And the Honda Shadow, it was great, and I had it for over a year, just over a year, like 1 year and 1 month is the length of time I had that motorcycle. So after about, I'd say 8 or 9 months of having the Honda Shadow, I wanted more power. I just wanted something that could keep up with traffic a little bit better, go on highways a little bit better, and I knew that the Sportsters was great. I knew that the Sportsters was not a whole lot bigger than the Honda Shadows, and so I just started looking for Sportsters. And at first I was looking for 883s, but then I was thinking, why would I even get an 883 when I could get the 1200 and have double the power I had on the VLX 600, which it feels like I have more than double the power. I don't know why, but it just feels like this thing has a ton more power than the VLX 600. So I was looking for Sportsters, and I knew I wanted a Sportster. I knew I wanted a 1200, and the 1200 Custom. I was actually looking for roadsters. I wasn't necessarily looking for a 48. One, because the 48s, they're a lot more expensive and they got a small tank. And I was also looking at the 72s, which was the same reasons I did not want a 72, was the same reasons I did not want a 48. So I wanted a decent sized gas tank, and the 1200 Customs have a 4.5 gallon gas tank, opposed to all of the other Sportsters have smaller gas tanks. And yeah, so I pretty much just saw this thing on Facebook and decided to go get it. And I just love the sound of it. I'd always watched YouTube videos and reviews and everything on Sportsters, and I knew I always wanted a Harley Davidson, and so I just decided to get the Sportster. And unlike the Hondas, I feel like Harley Davidson is a little bit higher quality, which you definitely pay for that higher quality. It just has more metal parts, and also on the Sportsters they have a ton of just interchangeable parts, whereas on the VLX, basically the only interchangeable parts you had on a VLX was just like your basic stuff. Like, you pretty much had to fabricate and do a good bit of stuff on the on the Shadows as opposed to Sportsters, because they just make a ton of just bolt-on parts for the Sportsters without having to do a whole lot of fabrication. So I knew if anything was to ever go wrong with a Sportster, you can pretty much fix it, which you can for every motorcycle, but it just parts and stuff is a ton easier to find than on the Honda Shadows. Because on the Honda Shadow, I'd have something go bad or needed a part or something, and I'd have to do a ton of research just to find something that might fit and take a chance that it would fit. And on the Sportsters, so many people have Sportsters that you can very quickly find the exact part you need, and there's a ton of reviews on everything about Sportsters. And plus, the Honda Shadow didn't sound bad. I just always knew I wanted something a little bit bigger, so I wasn't going to put a whole lot of money into the Honda Shadow, because I knew I wanted something a little bit more bigger, a little bit more nicer that I was going to put some money into. And as you can see on this motorcycle, I've also got bars and a air cleaner, aftermarket exhaust. The sound of Harley Davidson's compared to like Hondas and other motorcycles, like metric motorcycles, I just think the Harley Davidson sound a ton better. And a minute here, we're gonna get on the throttle a little bit, and I'm gonna show you what this baby's made of. Because if you don't watch out, you'll look down and you'll be cruising 75 or 80 without even knowing it. On the Honda Shadow, yeah, you know it. You can get about to 65 or 70, and then after about 65 or 70, you would feel like you're going a lot faster than you actually are, if that makes any sense. Like you could hear like you could hear having higher RPMs and stuff like that when you're going a little bit higher speeds on the Shadow. Dang. I don't think it's warmed up. What? Okay. So watch this. This baby will fly. Man, dude, that's crazy. I just went 80 on this thing. That's how fast this is. It's amazing, and if you don't watch out, it'll get away from you. It's awesome. Wow. On the VLX 600 Honda Shadow, it had 4 gears, and on this it has 5 gears, which I'm so glad that it has 5 gears, because I feel like it puts a little bit less strain on the motor. And like when you're getting them high RPMs on the Shadow, you'd be in 4th gear, and well, you'd have nothing else you wouldn't have another gear to shift to. But on this, I'll be in 4th gear going upshift to 80, and it'll be smooth. I mean upshift to 5th gear, and it'll be running smooth. The look of the Sportster just appeals more to me in my in what I want in a motorcycle. In the last video, I talked about buying this Sportster, and I was rewatching it, and I kind of made the guy I bought it from sound kind of bad, but I didn't want him to sound bad or anything. It just the kind of, I just feel like that's just the way it came out. It made him sound kind of bad, and he's a super nice guy, and he wasn't trying to get anything over on me at all, or a super nice guy. Let's just leave it at that. And if you don't watch out on this thing, that back tire will start spinning on you. It was wet a couple days ago, and I went to turn. I was trying to go a little bit Well, I was at a stop sign and I was making a right turn coming out of the stop sign, and I gave it a little too much gas and that back tire slipped out from up under me, and I felt like I was kind of drifting for a little bit there. I didn't fall down or anything, but honestly, it was kind of cool. Honestly, I wish I could do it again if I knew how. Woo! This thing is fast. And that's probably going to be it for this video today. So, if you haven't already, subscribe and like the video. And keep God first in everything you do. And I guess I'll see you on the next video.